Welcome back. Today we're going to be looking for artifacts from the Stone Age past. We brought our sifter and our shovel, and normally on the Clegg's Adventure Show I just tell you how these artifacts are getting here, but today you're going to be able to physically see it with your own eyes what's going on here, so stay tuned for that. You're going to like it. So I'm going to shovel out a little hole here in the water to get my sifter in a little deeper, and then we'll get started. That ought to do it. I'm going to be shoveling all this sand and mud and putting it into the sifter. See if we can find anything. What I'm doing now is I'm trying to get most of this overburden of top sand and mud off of there. After that, I'm searching for this hard packed clay layer that's under the whole beach that everything sits on. After I find that clay layer, I slowly scoop everything that's on top of it and put it into the sifter. Now when this water recedes, it'll leave that sand layer all level across the top. But that hard packed clay layer, it has dips and holes in it where all the stone and the artifacts like to hide. Oh, I see one already. I see one in here already. The second screen we did. Let's get it over here in the sun so we can see it better. Oh, yes. I want you to look right down in here. You cannot miss this. It looks like it's made out of Carter Cave flint from Kentucky. Look at this. Do you see that? It's just here. Look at this. Oh, sweet. Oh, wow. It's an Adena vanishing stem is what it's called. 2,000 to 3,000 years old. Look at this. It's a projectile thrown on a dart for hunting, or a spear point as most people know them by. Very nice piece right there. Very nice piece. We look through the rest of this real quick, make sure there's nothing else in there, because some of this stuff can be pretty small. There's some debutage, some flint flakes. And most of this stuff, like these stones here, are busted up campfire stones. They were around a fire at one time. That's why they're all red and they get brittle. They were large at one time, but now they're all into little chunks like this all over the beach. Nothing else in that one, just a few flint flakes. Those are chipped off of larger spalls to make the arrowheads. Let's find one more, and then I'll show you how this stuff's getting down here. You're gonna like this. Hold on. Oh, we got another one in here. Look down in here. I can't see it all, but it looks nice from what I can see. Can you see it here? Well, there's a lot of flakes in here. Wow, look at that flake. Clear stuff. Look right here. Oh, yeah, it's all there. Oh, that ain't bad. That ain't bad. I'm not real sure what this one is. It's just, it's been resharpened so much that most of the characteristics to ID it is gone. And this is Brush Creek Chert. this flint here from Ohio. It's probably traveled 60, 70 miles from here. There's not a lot of flint local to this general area. Most of it comes from, 80, 90, 100 miles from here. And right here is that hard packed clay layer I was telling you about. You can see it right here. Nothing will go through that. And when this beach is all underwater under a flood, this will all be in a slurry, and all the heavy stuffs like the stone and the artifacts will sink until they hit this clay. And that's where we're pulling them off of right now. What I want you to see now is just how these artifacts are getting down onto this beach. But first we're gonna have to fill this valley up with some water just so you can see what's going on. First we better get up out of here so we don't drown. That ought to do it. Now the natives would have lived on this land for thousands of years, and you can only imagine how many things were dropped or misplaced or lost around the home or in this area over that many years. And there's no kind of current in this river whatsoever. Even when it's flooded like this, it only moves at like a walking speed. But what it does do is when it's high, it comes up here and lays on this bank and softens all this earth up. And with the wind and boat waves just hitting at it all the time, it undercuts this bank, and large pieces of it, like this one that's about ready to go, will fall down on the beach. Now the soil will get dissolved in the water and slowly wash away, but all the heavy stuff like the sand and the stone and all the artifacts that were in this dirt will be laying down there on that beach. Well, it looks like I got a little bit too much water in it. We're gonna have to take some out before we go back down there. The water has receded. I want you to look at this right down here, the effects of these floods. What normally would usually look like this on the side is now looking like this. Look at all that erosion. When that water was up laying on this, it made this bank real soft, and with some of the waves hitting it, it caused several tons of dirt to slide here. So if there was any artifacts in this dirt here, it's going to end up down there on the beach, washed out eventually. And this is not just an isolated slip either. These slips are all the way up and down the Ohio Valley. It's going to make for some really good artifact hunting this year. Well, let's get back down there and see if we can find something else. Let's do a few more screens here and see if we can't get something else. Then I have something else I want to show you. We got another one in here. This is a small one, like a bow and arrow tip. Look down in here. Can you see it right there? It's little. Oh yes, it's all there. Wow, we're extremely lucky on that. Look at this. It won't go through that way, but at the right angle, it'll fit through that 1/2-inch screen. Really small. And these aren't quite as old as those dart tips or spear points. It's probably, could be 1,000 years old, 1,100 years old. It's made very well. Got several different colors of flint coming out of here. This isn't the only place you can find artifacts from the Stone Age. Not everybody lived right along the riverbank. A lot of people lived up in these high hills. Let's just head up on top of one of these high hills real quick. What a dang hike. Now I actually found this about 5 or 6 days ago, but I wanted to save it till I filmed to pull it out together. This is a big steep hill with a flat area on top where people lived for a lot of years, thousands of years. And you'll notice the sides of these hills over thousands of years, they erode away and all the dirt goes down the hill, but it leaves all these stones exposed everywhere all along the side of the hill. But if you get up towards the top, right on the edge of the flat, artifacts will wash out if people were living there. I marked it with a stick up here, so I hope you can still find it. Right there's some flint. You see this flint getting washed out? You can find it all over the place here. There's a bunch of it here. That's mostly what I find here is flint, but I do find a point every once in a while. Where is it at? Right here it is. Can you see that right there? Let me get this grass off of it. It's right there sticking out. Now, I don't know how far it goes back in there, but we're going to find out. Oh, it's not as long as I thought. The base is broken off of it. With that broken base, I'm not real sure of the type of this point. But it's old, I know that. Let's get back down there to the sifter. I did a couple more screens. I got one down in here. I was sifting over around that bush right there, and that's where it came from. Look at this. There's several flakes coming out of here. There's a lot of flakes. There's some nice stuff too. But look right here. It's very sharpened down, but it's very well made. I would say more than likely that's a resharpened Hopewell point, probably 1800 years old. Very cool. Another projectile point, very resharpened, like I say. They didn't waste anything. They used this stuff up until they couldn't use it anymore. Very cool. Well, that's going to do it for me today. I am beat. It's hot out here. You come back now.